In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to build a six-figure coaching business. Now, everyone is chasing six figures, but if you're an experienced business owner, you know that six figures doesn't go very far. If you're an actual business owner, not just self-employed, six figures would mean you're probably broke. You've got overhead, you've got a team to pay, and there's very little left for yourself. In this episode, I'm going to challenge how you think about pricing, how you think about income and profit, and what your real value is as a coach. I'll share the mindset shift that really helped me break through six figures and what most coaches are missing when they try to do the math. If you want to build a coaching business that's actually successful, you need more than a pricing formula. You need to deliver a result that's worth paying for. Let's dive right in. So there's a lot we're going to cover in this episode. The first thing that I want to talk about is just kind of the harsh reality. Six figures isn't that much anymore. In fact, it's no longer a dream, but it's more of a danger zone. So most coaching businesses that hit six figures, and we'll talk about they'll hit their first $100,000, they are not doing well financially. So when you're brand new to coaching or consulting, you might do the math and think, okay, I want six figures. Let me even, give myself a cushion. If I bring in 10 grand a month and I charge $1,000 per client, then I need 10 clients and that'll be golden. I'll have a successful business. Okay, so if you brought in 100,000, or in that case, 120,000 in a year, how much of that money are you going to be able to put in your pocket? Will any of that go to your livelihood? And likely not. The first thing that you've got to spend money on is attracting clients. Are you doing any type of marketing or advertising? Or what about designing your website? Do you have any software that you're paying for? Are you keeping track of your expenses? Are you doing bookkeeping or hiring a bookkeeper? Are you taking time to do your bookkeeping or design your website or do your marketing that's taking time away from your ability to consult? Do you work from home or do you have an office? Do you have to pay for utilities? Are there any physical deliverables, or is it just word of mouth? Like, are you just doing one-on-one consulting or on Zoom? And here's something that I didn't understand for many years as a business owner: how much profit is left over. So once you pay for all of your overhead and all of your expenses, if you have any staff and you've paid their salaries, and you pay yourself, what's left over? That's what profit is. So profit isn't the amount that you pay yourself, which that's what I thought. I thought, look, all my expenses are covered and I'm able to pay myself, therefore I have a profitable business. In that case, if I have enough revenue to cover my costs and my own earnings, my own income, then I'm at break even. I'm not at a loss, but I'm not at a profit either. So if you want to have a profitable business, a business that can grow and the business that's secure and has some savings, or you can invest in future growth, you've got to have a profit margin. So out of your $10,000 a month, how much of that is put into savings? And to have a goal of putting away $5,000 a month in savings, that's a pretty small goal, but that only leaves $5,000 for everything else, including your income. So the first shift that I'd invite you to make is, instead of looking at building a six-figure business, focusing on six figures of revenue, what if you could build a business and have six figures of profit? Six figures that's going into your bank account in savings. So let's just discuss some hard realities. If your business hasn't hit six figures of revenue yet, it's most certainly not a business. You can't call it a business, it's a side hustle. And if you have hit six figures of revenue, but you have no profit, you're still self-employed. It's still not a thriving business. Now there's a spectrum going from self-employed to business owner, meaning self-employed, you're doing it all yourself, no one helping you, no systems. A business owner, 100%, you step out of the equation and you've got teams and systems that are doing everything for you. You're going to be somewhere in the middle. Okay, so I wanted to share a big epiphany that I had. This is going back several years ago. But for my whole adult life, I saw this goal of achieving six figures as like this end goal, or something like finally I would have arrived. But I started to realize I was having a lot of financial stress. I looked at my revenue numbers and I was making multiple six figures. So I kind of made that realization, okay, maybe when I hit the goal of paying myself $100,000, so that's the income that I paid to myself, maybe that'll be a point where I'll feel less stress. It came to a point where I had a $100,000 month, so $100,000 of revenue in a single month, where I realized it doesn't matter how much money comes in, it matters, how much goes out and how much am I saving? How much profit is there? So whether it's $10 or $10 million, which one has the most profit? That's the one that's the most profitable. So when I had that $100,000 month, it caused a few things to happen because that came from one client. The client wanted to pay for a whole bunch of service and pay for it up front. And that caused a mindset shift. And so now I ask you a question: what could you offer your clients that would be worth them paying $100,000 for? And I knew that this client that was hiring me, I knew that I had to deliver. I had to deliver value so that when we got to the end of that year, that they'd want to continue working with me. Now, if you've never thought about it before, it might be a stretch of your brain to do this, but there is definitely something that you can do that is worth that. Like if you're to spend an entire year doing something for somebody, what would that end result be? And that's a different way of thinking than just saying, yeah, I'm a consultant or I'm a coach and I charge $100 per hour. You're thinking about the result and what that result is worth. And if you let your mind work in that space, you'll be able to figure out some really cool things that you can do. So once you know what that end goal is, you can put checkpoints along the way. You can build systems. You can hire people to aid in that process. And the whole goal becomes helping them get from point A to point B. This is the type of business that I recommend if you want to break through 6 figures and make it to 7 figures. Now, this is just one piece of the puzzle. I also want to teach you about how to position yourself as the #1 expert, the #1 coach or consultant in your niche. It's called authority marketing, and the next episode I'll link to right there. It's called What is Authority Marketing? So you'll learn what it is, but you'll learn how to do it. Because right now, all around the world, there are people that really need your help, right? They're going to Google or YouTube or ChatGPT, and they're trying to figure things out, and you're the perfect person to help them, but they don't know that you exist. So if you do authority marketing, these people will find you and see you as that expert. I'll see you there.